Good morning, I'm meteorologist Cheetah Craft. Here is your update on Hurricane Lee and really your full tropical update. Now, right now, Hurricane Lee is a Category 5 hurricane sitting in the open Atlantic, so completely into really warm water temperatures. What happened over the past 24 hours was rapid intensification. It went from a Category 1 to major status last night, and now you're waking up this morning to a Category 5 hurricane. That well-defined eye with maximum sustained winds at 165 miles per hour. It's moving west northwest at 14 miles per hour. So as it continues in this direction, there is going to be a time, though, it's going to take this more northerly hook. Take a look at the timeline and the latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center. We're going to sit at a Cat 5 throughout the day today and through a Cat 5 throughout the day tomorrow. So we potentially have 48 hours where we're going to be monitoring a Category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic. As we get into midweek next week, it's still at major status. There's not really anything that's going to help either slow this down or shear it apart. All of the atmospheric conditions are very conducive to keep Hurricane Lee at major status. So that would be a Category 3 or higher. Now, looking at some of the latest model runs, notice even as we extend the forecast past Wednesday through next weekend, so we're looking at about a 10-day timeline, it wants to remain east of the eastern seaboard. Now, this will be impacting either mariners or Bermuda or anyone that has anything to do with the open waters there of the Atlantic, hugging the eastern seaboard. It'll kick up higher seas, the tides, we'll have to monitor that. But as far as any direct impacts, it looks like it stays just east of most of the eastern seaboard at this point. Now, we're going to watch this really closely, of course. And what is steering this? Well, it's all of our upper level conditions. So big area of high pressure in the Atlantic. Around high pressure, you get clockwise flow. And that's with any area of high pressure. So what it wants to do, grab a hold at Lee and really help twist it around. So that's what keeps it offshore. Now, we've also got a trough that's starting to develop here across the East Coast. And that's also going to be an upper level steering current that helps to keep and deflect Hurricane Lee away from the U.S. So both of these will kind of work together. I mean, it's kind of always like a push and pull. And so which kind of either one grabs a hold of it will either keep it a little further east or hug a little bit closer to land. But I think either way, because of both of these, it'll help to steer Hurricane Lee just east of the East Coast. We will monitor this very closely through the weekend. Big picture across the Atlantic, we have Category 5 Hurricane Lee, again expected to make that northerly turn that keeps it away from the eastern seaboard. And now we have Tropical Storm Margot. Now, this is still just off the coast of Africa, and it will probably fall right in line with that big area of high pressure as well. So it'll eventually make that turn. Both model runs you can see with Lee and Margot mainly keep it offshore, but we will watch closely, of course, if it hugs the coastline a little bit closer there. Next name on the list will be Nigel, if you are following along with our storm names, and then Ophelia, Philippe, and so on. So the original forecast for this year was between 14 to 21 named storms. If we get to Whitney, which is the last name on the list, that will actually be 21. One more name, and we have already hit 14 storms, and the peak of hurricane season is usually statistically September the 10th. So we're falling right in line with the forecast. As far as the hurricanes go, between 6 to 11, major hurricanes between 2 to 5. So that's actually above average activity when you look at those averages. The Atlantic basin is extremely warm right now, and that's what's going to keep Hurricane Lee at its status even over the next 10 days, probably above major status. You can always get the latest updates on KHOU.com. Hope you have a great day.